Welcome to the Thought Process. This is a space where I get to think out loud about ideas, life, and whatever I'm trying to understand in the moment. I don't always have answers here, just honest thoughts as they unfold. I'm really grateful you're here. So, let's dive in. Welcome back. Today we're diving into lesson 6 of 30 before 30. Be grateful. I love the topic of gratitude. I think it's such a powerful tool and so underused, and it's so simple. Okay? You can practice gratitude by writing 3 things a day, 5 things a day, 10 things a day, or you can simply speak them out loud. Okay, let's go backwards because I'm getting ahead of myself. Gratitude. Gratitude is basically the practice of thanking the universe, source, God, Mother Earth, whoever you believe in. You're thanking them for everything, past, present, future. Like, it doesn't matter, because the cool thing about the universe is that it doesn't know the difference between real or imagined, or past, present, or future. So when you thank the universe for something that has happened, and you are really feeling those emotions, feelings, then the universe will just continue to expand and continue bringing those things back into your life. And if you can get really good at getting grateful for what you already have, you can practice feeling gratitude for things that aren't even in your life yet. And then if you can hold the frequency of those things, then that will also expand and it will show up in your life. It's a crazy concept, I know, but just stay with me. So I listened to this podcast probably like a month and a half ago. It was by Rhonda Byrne, and she was talking about her book, The Magic. The Magic's all about gratitude, different practices of gratitude that you can practice. How many times can we say practice in a sentence? Back to it, squirrel brain. Rhonda Byrne talked about these practices where you can use gratitude to your advantage. And her whole thing is that she believes that if you can become grateful for everything you have in your life at this exact moment, then the universe has no choice but to expand in front of you, meaning that it will start to bring in the things that you want. Now, I know that sounds really redundant, okay? But if you think about it, we as humans love to complain. I bet you complain more in a day than you are grateful, and you don't even realize it. Like, how many times a day do you stop and say, wow, I'm so grateful for the sun and the bright light it's providing today. And I cannot believe I got to witness that beautiful sunrise as it came up this morning. I'm so grateful for the clothes that I'm wearing and the warmth that I feel in my home right now, and the fact that I have a warm car to jump into to then take me to work. Like, we don't think about those things, okay? You probably got upset about traffic. You probably got frustrated with a coworker, and somehow the day just became this overflowing box of complaints. Now imagine if we flip that box of gray, sad complaints into an overflowing box of beautiful, colorful papers with pieces of gratitude on them. How much happier would you feel? That's something else I want to dive into in a later episode, is talking about how your emotions truly don't make or break your life, but your emotions help you to expand. And that's part of gratitude. Gratitude is the highest, it's up there with love on the scale of emotions. So if you've ever looked at a scale or a frequency of emotions, love is the highest. And how do you get to love? It's by practicing and being grateful for things in your life. Okay? So you would feel a difference if you allowed yourself the space to feel grateful for things. And that's why I'm here to tell you that yes, gratitude is important and it might just change your life. So I want to share this fun, kind of crazy story with you. Okay. So in the first year of dating my partner, he started to understand how much I love self-help, manifestation, the world of positivity. I made him, but secretly he loved it. Practice gratitude. Every day, at the end of the day, we would text or call each other and share 3 things we were grateful for. It became clockwork. If I forgot, he would text or call and we would recite the things we were grateful for. It was just this cute little thing that we would do. it just became like our thing. And so a few months passed by and we were going on a trip to Ireland. We were stoked. We got to the airport early and were waiting for our flight. We had to fly from our city to Halifax, and then from Halifax, we were taking another plane to Ireland. Like, no big deal. But our plane got delayed, like, so delayed that we were questioning whether we were going to make our connecting flight. And so we sat down, we sat down at the gate, and we calmly assessed the situation. We are like, okay, we there's nothing we can do. Like this is kind of like out of our hands, right? So we looked at each other and we're like, okay, well, why don't we just start doing our three grateful things since we have time? We started getting so high vibe in the moment. Like grateful for the fact that we were at the airport, grateful we were getting to go to Ireland, how it doesn't matter, like we're getting to spend time together. And how could life get better? But really, and it was kind of funny because we were distracting ourselves from the fact that we were likely going to miss our connecting flight. And then over the loudspeaker, we hear Rianne Candia and Jason Kirkland, please come to gate 3. We were nowhere near gate 3. Like that wasn't where our flight was leaving from. And we were on the other side of the airport. So we walked over with our luggage and said, "Hi, like you called us?" And without skipping a beat, the guy goes, "Yeah, we're putting the two of you on a flight to Toronto and then we'll connect you to Ireland from there. The rest of the plane is missing their connection, but we're going to get you there on time." We looked at each other in utter shock. Like, what just happened? Like, we were flying WestJet and they were changing us to an Air Transat flight. Like, it was the weirdest thing because nobody else from our gate, while we were doing this, everybody else at our gate is starting to file onto the plane that was delayed but is now boarding. And we're like, 3 seconds ago, we were coming to terms with the fact that we were going to be late, that we had to shift reservations, and then now this, like to this day, neither of us understand how that happened. And all I know is that we attributed it to the gratitude practice we had just done. And from that moment on, it became a ritual. You better believe, okay? That after that, we were like, we're going to be so grateful for everything that's yet to come on this trip. And so we practice gratitude, like not only for what we have, but for what we want to call in. It's so underrated. Like if you give thanks after something happens, you're too late. Be grateful for what you already have. Get so grateful. And the thing is that I know I said that if you already get grateful for something that's already happened, then you're too late. I take that back because you're never too late. I think about how you can get so grateful for things that you have had happen to you because that's what you're trying to call in, right? You're trying to bring those feelings back into your sphere to then expand them again. So yeah, I take that back. Be grateful. Be grateful for like every single thing that has happened to you, but don't think that you shouldn't be grateful for the past and present. Like I think they're just as equally important. And so when I say be grateful for what you already have, like what the universe has blessed you with, because then the universe gets the hint and it's like, oh, you're grateful for that? Maybe I'll send more of that. Okay, this practice really solidified for me in my 20s when I started doing gratitude around my body. And again, that's going to be another episode later on because that is another lesson that I have learned is that I didn't like my body growing up. Okay, I didn't like how my legs looked. And looking back, I wish I had realized how lucky I was just to have legs and the power that they held in those moments growing up. Because now, you better believe that I am grateful for my entire body. Okay? Because when you get older and you start to hurt yourself, you realize that you're not just that like spaghetti noodle that you used to be, that you could do whatever you wanted and you would bounce back the next day. And it's not just that, but I think that we take our health for granted so much. And so once I started learning about gratitude, I began thanking and loving the parts of my body that I didn't fully love yet. And the crazy part is, things started to change. But that's a story for another episode. So I'm going to leave you with this. If nothing else, let this be a reminder that gratitude is always available. And just remember, when you're grateful for what you already have, more of it starts to show up. And with that, I'm really grateful you're here. Until next time.